You're listening to Rocket Night.
Are you ready? Hey, tonight I'm gonna take you on a little trip. We're going down south by the mighty Mississippi. I'm gonna take you to a place where lights never dim. Bring your mother, your brother, and your best friend. I'm gonna show you where they dance out in the street. They'll tell you all about your body heat. Not gonna talk about it, just gonna do it. Get on down if you feel up good. Now, get on down.
Hi everyone, this is Andrea from Rock and Night Magazine, and I have with me Wax from Crashing Cairo. How are you, Wax?
I'm doing fantastic. How you doing?
I'm doing great, and how you're calling us from Detroit?
That's correct, yeah.
And you guys are originally from Detroit?
Metro Detroit, yeah. The outlying areas all around. We're spaced pretty far apart, but yeah, all around Metro Detroit.
Very good. And you guys are celebrating the release of your new album called At Speeds That Destroy.
Yeah,
and
I'm pretty excited about it.
I've seen you guys have had a lot of success. I've been going through your Facebook, your Instagram, and you guys have been getting an incredible amount of airplay. How is that? How did you guys manage to get so much airplay from radio stations all over?
I don't know. If I knew, I would tell you. We've been, I don't know how plugged you are into the industry, but we have a radio promoter, Tinderbox Music, that helps disperse our album everywhere, at least in North America, and did a good job making sure that everyone got a copy and got the line notes and the one sheet which kind of talks about the album. But then, after they deliver it, it's kind of like, well, do people like it? And fortunately, people like it. So it's been a good experience. It's a little humbling to look at the map and see all the places and we're just anxious to continue to try to develop relationships in all those places that are listening to our music.
Now that's great. This new album, how is this album different than from the last album? It's been like it's been a while since the last album release, right?
Yeah, it has been. I'd say that the main difference is it was a process actually. We played some shows that were a little more high-profile shows for us, and then because we played those shows, we had some footage in front of quite a few people, and so we were able to send out some of our songs to people to see and show them what we did, to see if we might be able to get a certain producer to work with us. And the producer that when I thought of all of it, I thought, actually, who do I want to work with? And I really like the National, and I really like Interpol. And Peter Cadis is the person that produces those two bands. And gosh, wouldn't it be great if Peter Cadis would produce our EP? And so I just wrote a short email to the studio and with a couple clips of us playing in front of the biggest crowd that we could, and said, would you consider possibly trying to work us into your schedule? It would be just really grateful. And it took a couple weeks, but I got a call back from Sandy Robertson. And Sandy Robertson think of him as like an agent to all the great producers. And so I get this call from London, England, and I pick it up and I end up talking to him for over an hour. He's a wonderful guy. And he says, he liked what I had to say and what our goals were and what we were trying to accomplish. Kind of talked to me for a while. I thought, gosh, how did that go? And then got another call from him after he had talked it over with Peter, and said, sure, let's move forward on this. So we finished the first song, which is It's Not Like Life. And and it came out great. We were so thrilled and so excited about what was coming next. And I heard it well. I was outside, and I got a phone call from Peter, and I picked it up and started talking. And he's like, "Well, I got some news. Looks like I'm going to be busy for the next 6 months plus because the National wants to record a new album." And this is the album that Peter and the National ended up getting a Grammy for Best Alternative Album this year. So I'm glad we didn't stand in the way of that. So yeah, he said, "Hey, this is a great thing, and we got to do it." And I said, "Well, you know what? We'll wait. We'll just wait because you guys have been waiting so long." He's like, "You can't wait anymore." He's like, "Let me make a phone call." Well, and a little while later, I got a call from Sandy Robertson again, fantastic guy. He says, "I got somebody that he had the one song that we did with Peter, showed it to another individual, and said, I got somebody for you." And I said, "Who?" And he said, "His name's Tim Palmer." There's a few Tim Palmers in the music industry, so I wasn't sure which ones. And he said, "Producer Tim Palmer," and then his website came up, and I thought, "Oh my gosh, look at what this guy's done." I mean, this guy's resume is insane. He mixed Pearl Jam's 10. He produced David Bowie's Tin Machine. He's worked with U2 on All That You Can Leave Behind, which was nominated for a Grammy. I mean, this guy's just done so much. I thought, if he's interested, we are, and he wound up being an amazing individual, just so helpful, and so awesome at his job, and knows how to, both of these guys know how to use the studio as an instrument, and from the first song I got back, because Tim Palmer kind of went away with a song on the EP called "Runaway." And he went away with it for a while, and then he came back, and he goes, "Hey, take a listen to this." And he stripped away all the stuff that we kind of felt like wasn't working, and he kept everything that was, and without changing kind of what we were about, but really kind of showing that he can use that studio as an instrument. He just elevated the song, and we were so moved by it. So we got to do the rest of the songs with this guy. This guy's amazing. And so we ended up finishing the album with Tim, and so all the other songs are with Tim, and he did a fantastic job. Just hands down, fantastic job.
I think one of the great things about the album is that a lot of your songs, and your band is described as an anthemic band, a lot of your songs are very feel-good songs. They have this sense of power to them. They make you feel good. They give you this positive energy. How did you manage to have such a positive input in your songs? Especially one of my favorite songs on the album is "On the Rise." I don't know why, but that's one of those songs that kind of gives me goosebumps, and when I hear it, if I'm having a bad day, I start to cry in a good way. It's a feel-good song, and hopefully there's a good message behind that song.
Yeah, there is, and it's neat. That song, we still play that at the end of a lot of our shows, and it's one of those songs it's gotten to the point because, we've been together for 10 years, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so, we've been together for a long time, and that's one of those songs that was there close to the beginning, and over the years it's evolved, and it's become so much more, and it's so neat, and so we've actually considered re-recording that song, and because it's one of those songs that people tend to really enjoy, and so we thought about that. It's got like you said, an anthem-like feel. A lot of our music, we try to keep it positive. The lyrics may not be, the subject matter might be a little darker, more serious at times, but we always like to sprinkle in enough hope so that it's not a "oh man, we're so down" type it's more like, look at these are some things that have happened that maybe aren't so great, but you know what, we can overcome, right?
Absolutely. And you guys, are there any plans for any future tours in 2019?
Yeah, quite a few things in the works. Just we just recently we'll be announcing this soon. We signed up with an independent record label for distribution purposes. So that's pretty exciting, and then we've talked about some plans that we have in terms of that. We've explored. Right now, I think we're playing a series of shows, kind of working from Detroit, more west, through Kalamazoo, Chicago, etc. Our plan is this spring to go out to Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona has a radio station out there that's just been amazing and has just really championed our music, and it's on heavy rotation. It's been on heavy rotation since the first tracks were pre-released in August, and so they've been just amazing. So we want to make our way out there, and so stopping in Iowa and stopping in some of these other states along the way, that would be important, and working our way out east in the summer, and by out east, that would be anywhere between Detroit, through Pennsylvania, New Jersey, getting to New York City. That would be another path that we're planning, and we're looking at either next summer doing a tour in the UK or in Europe.
Excellent.
And we'll kind of be making our decisions on that soon. That we've got to get that all finished up soon. So that's kind of in the nutshell, from now until next August. That kind of gives you a plan of all the places that we're planning on hitting.
Very nice. Now I'm going to go back to a little bit on your some of the songs on your album. One of my other favorite songs is "Sue Your Eyes."
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that song?
Well, boy, do I really want to ruin it for you? I can talk instrumentally. It's really a neat song because I think it has a lot of components. I don't think it fits into the radio format mode. I think it has a different sound to it. I think it's catchy without being poppy, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And I think that it's. I love the song. Now you're probably wanting to know lyrical content, right? Is that what you're asking about?
Probably. As a female, I guess we. Well, actually, I do listen to lyrics, but I also I love to hear the musical aspect of it too, and what goes behind creating the song when it comes to musicianship.
Yeah. Well, the lyrics. I tend to write lyrics from personal experiences, and I tend to make those lyrics a very clear vision in my mind of what I'm trying to communicate, and I try not to taint that for others that are listening. Because, let's say you know somebody by the name of Sue, right? And you have been able to identify a message through the song that speaks to you. Okay, I don't want to ruin that. I don't want to ruin the message that you have. But yeah, the song does dwell a little bit on loss and it and redemption and kind of an understanding of the choices that we make, and and how that impacts our life, and how we reflect on that later on in life. We do. It's kind of like all of the decisions we make are written somewhere on our soul, right? And we draw on those feelings and emotions when we're in different situations. That's kind of the concept of what that song's about.
Very, very good. Very. You didn't ruin it for me.
Okay, good.
And one more song. Satellite. Satellite is
Yeah.
another interesting song that I kind of wanted to know more about.
Yeah. Satellite is, I view Satellite as a great, primer, if you will, on the band. So if you were going to just listen to one song, and because I think that we really try to create different cinematic soundscapes, if you will, in terms of our music. So you're not saying, oh, it's another song by Crash in Cairo. It sounds just like the last four that I heard. You know what I mean? We try to stretch ourselves, and so that we're doing songs that are all in the same vein, but they don't sound samey.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. You put it. That's perfect. Cinematic. It's a good word to use.
Yeah. And so what I view Satellite is a it's a great song that kind of gives you a smattering of what we're about. You can listen to the song and say, okay, they kind of have a sound that's like fill in the blank, whatever it is. I don't know if you have a band in mind. I'm way too close to it to be able to draw a comparison, but you get kind of a vibe, like, okay, this is kind of what they sound like, and it's a great introduction song, to if you're looking for, if you're going to listen to one song, listen to that all the way through. It just changed through it and gives you an idea of what we're about. But that song,
I mean, I can listening to your music, and it's so interesting that you've worked with the producers such as, Tim Palmer and Peter. You guys have like the best parts of the National, because the National has like these rising emotional moments to their songs, and
Right.
then even you too, like the feel good parts of the songs. That's what your songs remind me of, and a lot of
That's great.
your album, your songs, they have like this feel good. It's like this goose, like I said before, goose pimple sound feeling. It's like you hear the songs and it's like, wow, this just feels so good. It's for those who have not
Well,
heard
that's
the
good.
album or Crash and Cairo. Now I have to be honest, this is the first album that I hear from Crash and Cairo.
Yep.
Which is gonna make me want to go back and listen to the rest, which I'm
Uh-huh.
not that familiar with. But this is such a
Right.
good album that is just you want more, and I have to go back and explore what I've missed in the past.
Yeah, that's neat. And what's in the future? Because I don't know if I mentioned this. Did I mention this that we've got another EP already written and we're already recording it.
Interesting. No, I did
Yeah.
not know that. And when is
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
when is that coming out?
We don't have a date set for that, but I'm anticipating that it will be done by next fall.
Okay.
It's all written, and we're just doing the tracking now. So each of us have a recording studio in our own house,
Okay.
and so we track everything individually. So we write together. We're all in the room, kind of constructing this, and we actually play the songs out live before we even start tracking stuff. So these are songs that we've already been performing at shows. We'll be performing them at we'll be performing these new songs all next year, 2019, and they're so they're already written, and it's just a matter of finding the time to track them and then work with Tim Palmer to produce them and get them in their final state and capture them so that they can be listened to whenever you want.
Very cool. Now, is there a touring moment that you've enjoyed the most, or any bands that really stood out? Is there a great moment in your um, previous tours that have been memorable?
Lots of them. We played a lot of shows with the Verve Pipe.
Okay.
They did that song "We Were Only Freshmen." Do you know the song?
Yes, I
Great
do.
song.
It's an awesome
And
song.
and so we did a lot of shows opening for them. Fantastic people, just fantastic, great musicians, wonderful people to know. We opened up for Eddie Money, who's amazing, and he sold out a outdoor amphitheater, which is easy for him, but like a 15,000 plus amphitheater that it was just a great opportunity to open up for him, and he's so kind. And we played some shows where we're opening up for a band, and they don't even they didn't talk to us. We're warming up the crowd, and they've got no thing going on. But he just was very engaging, and after we were done with our set, came out on stage and kind of hyped up the crowd and said, "What do you think?" It was really an exciting moment. And in fact, some of that footage is what we used to send to Peter Cadis. So that was, that was a neat moment to be able to be in front of that many people. Yeah, yeah, that was neat. I actually jumped out off the stage on one of our first songs. When you're an opening band, you start your set, and there, in an amphitheater that size, there might have only been like 2,000 or 3,000 people there, which I know sounds like a lot when you say it out loud, right? But 2,000 or 3,000 in that big of an amphitheater, it's not that many people, right? And so you start the set out with that many, and then eventually, halfway through the set, you're looking out at over 10,000 people, and you're saying, "Oh wow, this is really catching up to us." This is pretty neat. But one of the first songs, I jumped off the stage and sang the song, going all the way out to after the amphitheater. There's a huge lawn that people can be up on as well. And I walked out and walked across the lawn as I was singing a song. I spent the entire song just kind of doing a huge lap of it. And that was pretty exciting, to be able to go out there and engage with people, in that way. That's a moment I'll probably never forget.
Very nice. Now, I'm not going to hold you up too much longer, but I am a gearhead. I love gear. I love musical equipment. Is there any specific musical instruments that you guys must have?
Lots of them. Where should I start? David might say Ableton, I would say. He has some sound effects that he likes to trigger, and interesting electronic noises that he uses. So I'd say that I remember him saying Ableton. However, that's out of my realm of what I do, so I hope I'm getting that right. In case David's hearing, gosh, I hope I'm getting that right. Joel loves his Mesa amp. He really, he plays a Tele or a Guild. Those are the two guitars he plays. But he loves his Mesa amp. He says it weighs a ton, but sounds amazing. So there's that. Chris Rosin, he plays bass, and he plays an Ernie Ball bass through an Ampeg head and whatever the big refrigerator-looking cabinet is. I don't know what that is, but it's an Ampeg cabinet. That's what he does. And then I'm partial to using the TC Helicon vocal processor, because a lot of times when you're playing shows, I don't care if it's big. I used it at that amphitheater DTE. I used it at small clubs. I always use it. It allows me the flexibility to be able to trigger my own effects, my own reverb, my own delay, that kind of stuff. And so I like that. I sing SM58, a Beta 58 by Shure. Let's see what else. Keyboards that I'm partial to. More expensive would be Moog. And then a cheaper keyboard that I like, that I if you're going out on the road, sometimes you like something that sounds great and isn't that expensive. I like the Korg Monologue. I like that a lot. I send it through a Boss RV6 reverb and delay pedal that can add a little bit of shimmer and stuff like that to it. I really like that. And then I use Shure in-ear monitors, because as the singer, you kind of got to hear yourself, and a lot of times the wedges, the floor monitors, you can't hear yourself as clearly, so I don't like to blow my voice out every night, and so I use the in-ear monitors so that I'm not screaming too loud. How's that? Was that a good gear rundown?
I'm sorry, what was that, Wax?
Was that a good gear for you?
That was very good. I live with musicians, so I know some of it. I'm mostly bass player and guitar players. Not too familiar with the drums or the microphones, but
right.
But that was great. Do you guys have any guilty listening pleasures that you guys are embarrassed to say in public? Do any of you listen to, like, I don't know, Britney Spears?
Okay, let's play a little game. You say the artist, and I'll say who most likely would listen to that artist.
Oh, geez.
Right, so you said Britney Spears.
I said
I'd
Britney
say that
Spears.
I would say that the band member most likely to listen to Britney Spears would be David West, the drummer. Yep, that would be, and he might be killing me right now when he hears this, but I would say he'd be the most likely to listen to Britney Spears. Give me three more. I'll see if I can assign one.
Okay. Kanye West.
Kanye. Oh, gosh. I'm gonna say Chris Rosin on bass. I'm going to say that he would probably be the one that would listen to Kanye. Now, it could be David again, because David's pretty eclectic, but I'm going to give Kanye to Chris Rosin, even though he's a punk rocker.
Okay, let's see. ABBA.
ABBA. ABBA's a good one. I don't know if it would be myself or Joel. I'm going to say Joel, because I'll take whatever you say the last one is.
I have one more. Let's see.
Yep.
Andrea Bocelli.
Oh, that's me. Yeah. That's got to be me. Awesome. That's good.
Very good. So, Wax, before we go, just tell us again the band members in the band. I forgot to, I know you mentioned them, but to give them a shout out since they're not here with us.
Absolutely. Well, you've got Chris Rosin. Chris Rosin plays bass guitar. You've got David West. David West plays drums. He plays drums, and he's also, he plays he handles electronics, like sound effects, that kind of stuff. Joel Cooper. He handles all the guitars, and then I'm Robert Wax, and I play the keys, and then I also do the lead vocals.
Very nice. Well, Wax, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to Rock at Night. It was a great pleasure. I hope you're staying warm in Detroit. It's very
Thank you.
cold
I
here.
hope. New Jersey is about the same, right? You know, I got to get out there. I got to get out there and play. I can convince these guys to go out to New Jersey, and play a show. I think that there's quite a few radio stations, I think, that are playing us. Did you look at that map that we have?
Yes, I did. I'm not sure about. We're kind of closer to Philadelphia. I'm more familiar with Philadelphia. I'm from Jersey, and I don't know much about Jersey. That's really bad. But,
well, we're going to go out to Philadelphia then and rock, and I hope to see you there.
Philadelphia is where you have a lot of music. great music
Okay.
scene. And
That's awesome.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate mail from New Jersey for saying this, but I love Philly a little more than I do,
You know what? We'll go out to both just to keep you safe.
I get treated better in the venues in Philadelphia than I do in New
All right.
Jersey. Just letting you know.
Gotcha.
They're
Well,
li-
good to know.
the city of brotherly love. Philly is a little better when it comes to music, more open-minded.
I gotcha. I got.
Wow, I'm gonna get hate mail like crazy now.
It wasn't my fault, I swear. Can't you just cut that part out for yourself?
But anyway, Wax, thank you so much. It's okay. I'm used to it. We're made of steel here in New Jersey. We're used
That's
to the.
right. That's right. Well, thank you so much. This was awesome.
Thank you, Wax. It was awesome. It was a pleasure. And take care. And we'll hope to see you on stage here in New Jersey or Philly. There are great places in New Jersey. There are, but I'll see you in Philly.
You got it. That's awesome.
Thank you, Wags. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You're listening to Rock at Night.